Hi and welcome to the Geek Legion of Doom. This is a B-movie review, and now we have a look at the movie Maneater. Now, there's actually two movies called Maneater, both that came out in 2009. Now, one stars Sarah Chalke, who you may know from Scrubs, and we're not reviewing that one. We're going to be reviewing the one starring the great thespian that is Cain. Yes, he stars in this particular movie, and he plays the sheriff who was kind of previously an FBI profiler who's kind of moved to this sort of quiet American sort of out of the way town, trying to get away from his past. He's moved there with his teenage daughter, and he's been this sort of sheriff for a little while. And there's basically a rash of these killings, and a very sort of violent killings, like an animal attack, and you know, it puts down to there's actually a Wendigo, and this Wendigo can assume human form, kind of a little bit like a werewolf, I suppose. So there's a kind of a question about, you know, who could it be, and that kind of thing. It's kind of almost like a mystery about who it is, and obviously Dean Cain trying to stop it. I have to say, Dean Cain pretty much comes across like a psychopath in this movie, and is a little bit creepy. I'm not quite sure if that was by design or whether it just sort of turned out like that, but it's kind of an odd sort of choice really to play this kind of protagonist. The acting in this movie, well, I have to say, Dean Cain never really been the best actor in the world, has he? But you know, he's kind of hit and miss. I think that his daughter, I don't know the actress's name, but she's not bad in it, I have to say. She kind of sells across this, you know, not a typical relationship, I have to say, with a sort of father and daughter. They kind of don't get on all that well, and it kind of sells it quite well. But there's a lot of other supporting characters that really don't do a particularly good job. It's kind of like bumbling sort of comedy, you know, sheriff, sort of policeman, basically, things like that. The monster effects here as well. I got to say, when we see the monster, it's kind of, he looks like kind of like the crypt keeper with kind of glowing eyes, really odd kind of makeup. I mean, it looks kind of freaky, you know, but it looks very fake, if that makes sense. It's a very low budget film, obviously. Now, there's not a particularly, you know, original film. It's just really a kind of monster in the woods type movie. But it just comes across as a little bit sort of slapdash and kind of thrown together. It's you know, not unentertaining, I suppose, if you kind of like your bad movies, but it's certainly on the kind of the dumber side of things. You know, you kind of got the typical sort of teenagers, that sort of thing. You can pretty much guess who's going to die. And it's kind of got this plot about who the Wendigo is and how they got there and things like that. And it has these weird flashbacks all the time, which it really doesn't, I think it's quite distracting. And, you know, it doesn't quite make sense when you kind of think about things. Anyway, so overall, I have to say, it's a typical B-movie fodder. I'm going to give this one a 4 out of 10. Have you seen it? What did you think of it? Leave me a comment and I will look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.